Protect what matters. Collar up.
What's up, DBs? Coach D Magic here. We're going to break down these two plays. They're both slicing the hip, and I'm going to give you guys why, like the science behind it, why we slice the hip, how to slice the hip, when to slice the hip. Make sure you go to thedbnetwork.com to get our DB Mastery Program, 100 DB drills for $50. And make sure you go to Q30.com to get your Q collar, wear it around your neck, protect your brain, help prevent CTE. Now, the theory behind slicing the hip of a receiver, a lot of people probably think, hey, like, we're just going to undercut, all right? But you're only supposed to undercut in certain situations, okay? So, for instance, when we have a middle field safety or when we have safety help over the top, that's when we want to get to an undercut. And also, it's based on the release, okay? So if we get an outside release, usually that brings out breaking routes, okay? We end up inside here. We want to play the low hip if we have safety help over the top. The low hip, all right? Because we're inside, we get an outside release. We're anticipating an out breaking route. We just got to stay a little patient here, all right? Once we get that step, once we get that break, now we can transition to the other hip. You see how he waited inside until he saw that it was going to be out breaking route, and then he sliced the hip. And like I said, when we have safety help, this is how we want to do it. We want to sandwich these receivers. One low, one high. This is exactly the science behind slicing a hip, all right? We have safety help over the top. We slice. Now going back to this play, okay? We get a condensed formation. 49ers run a lot of funky things out of this formation, but a lot of times, I would say most times, if you get a condensed formation and he runs a route, he's trying to get over right away, okay? Now, once we get the inside route, all right? You see our middle field safety right here? We're playing the low hip here. Now, he just kind of anticipates it, okay? Usually, you want to wait until they cross the hash, because once they cross the hash, they're not going to bend it back out for the corner. Their hashes are a little different. But for us, how many times do you see a guy run all the way to the middle of the field, cross the hash, and then work back out? Usually he's going to stem, all right, work vertical before the hash and work out. Once they get to that middle of the field, it's a low probability that he's going to try to work all the way back out. All right, so he's just going to trust the inside stem theory, inside stem and breaking route. He gets to the low hip here. And you see how we're already transitioned to the low hip before the receiver even makes his cut. Now, low hip here. We have a safety over the top. So now we're sandwiching this route. This is exactly how we teach it. Continues to close to that hip, bodies him, high points of football. All right, so there you got it, guys. That is the theory behind slicing the hip, when to slice and when we have safety help. So for instance, if we were in quarters, we cannot slice a hip because we don't have safety help over the top.